Now, we all know Richard Watterson loves food, but how much food has he really eaten throughout the series? To find that out, we're gonna be tracking all of the calories he's eaten, seeing him go from a small kid all the way to morbidly obese. And what better place to start than the pizza? In this episode, all of the Wattersons are having a really bad day, and decide to make it a little better, they should order a pizza. But Nicole is too angry to order, so out of all the possible people, Richard has to order the food. And this just shows the type of pizza he would get if you gave him the chance.
We have a family-sized pizza with 1/5 margarita, 1/5 vegetarian, 1/5 surf, 1/5 turf, and 1/5 mega meat.
And a toy.
I'm sorry, sir, we don't do toys.
And a toy.
But if you think this is bad, just wait until Richard explains why he's so angry in the first place. His bad day kicks off at the Joyful Burger, where Larry refuses to serve him, pointing out that he's already consumed 12,000 calories just an hour ago.
Less than 12,000 calories an hour ago. To burn that off, you would literally have to catch fire. I can't in good conscience serve you another meal before you exercise.
After not getting what he wanted, Richard goes absolutely crazy and starts chugging ice cream and devouring ketchup and mustard. But when normal food doesn't fill the void in his stomach, he starts creating his own food, like in the episode The Lie, where he invents the Schnuzzlewurst, a ridiculous, over-the-top meat abomination so greasy and massive, it would give your average-sized elephant a heart attack.
By the power of cheese! By the power of bacon! By the power of processed meats! By the power of carbs and deep fat frying! I give you the Schnuzzlewurst! It's a sausage with everything in and on it.
This monstrosity comes in at well over 3,400 calories. But it doesn't end there. Richard loves his creation so much that he doesn't want to cut it into pieces. So the only logical answer is to make 5 of them for the whole family.
I'm gonna make 5.
This creation is literally so obscenely fatty that it made Anna sweat actual butter, proving this meat monstrosity isn't just unhealthy, it's practically a biohazard. But if that didn't convince you, let's look at the time Richard makes an effort to eat better in the diet. Though, what he considers a diet might surprise you. We open with Richard doing something we've never seen before, searching for a salad. And for a moment, it actually looks like he's serious about turning his life around, until we see he has other plates, each one with a different food from a diet. From a no-carb diet to a high-protein diet, Richard has it all.
Pizza delivery!
And that?
My reward for dieting.
I don't know about you, but this doesn't seem like your ordinary diet. Of course, by morning, Richard has gained even more weight, thanks to all of his midnight munching. Though, after struggling to get more groceries, Gumball and Darwin had to finally step in and give him a proper diet. But before that, we find that he hides a lot of food. And I mean a lot of food behind the remote, in between the toilet paper, and even inside a banana, just showing how much this has become a problem. So the boys put him in lockdown, where he doesn't have any food. However, after tricking Darwin and getting out, he goes back to eating in the fridge.
Get out of there! Abort! Abort! Oh, it's just saliva. He's escaped! Fridge! This is a new low. Meh, feels like a very familiar low.
After this, they realize the only way to get Richard to actually exercise is by tricking him with food. After this montage, Richard becomes totally ripped and terrorizes the whole town with his new physique. But something you gotta learn is that you cannot separate Richard and food. And eventually, he snaps out of it and goes back to being a foodie.
I'm sorry, kids. I guess I went a bit too far. Let me make it up to you. Who wants pizza? And after that, we can go for Mexican. And after that, we can go for Chinese. Oh, and we should get a burrito too, and maybe some ice cream. You know what? I could also really go for a taco right now. There's this place I know where they toast the tacos first. Then, maybe a burger.
But even this number gets completely blown out of the water in the episode The Menu, Richard is lying motionless on the living room couch, completely unconscious and in one of his deep typical naps, when suddenly his ear twitches ever so slightly, as if he's picking up a distant signal. And not even a second later, he jumps from the couch, shoots straight through a bunch of fences, and sprints over to the mall. Now, why would Richard do all this? Well, it's because Gumball mentioned the existence of a secret menu item at Joyful Burger, a mystical burger that can only be ordered by name, but no one actually knows what it's called, and that alone gets him to eat even more calories than we've ever seen before. They try to trick Larry at the drive-thru, hoping he'll slip up and accidentally say the name of the secret menu item, but he doesn't fall for it. And after their next few schemes fail, they just straight up kidnap Larry and put him in the greatest interrogation ever, starting with forcing Bergie, the Joyful Burger mascot, to eat rival restaurants' food, then decapitating and deep frying his fingers.
No, you can't eat Bergie's fingers.
Anything is edible if you deep fry it long enough.
But to earn the legendary secret burger, Richard has to eat from every single Joyful Burger in Elmore, and he has just 1 hour to do it. So they go through every Joyful Burger in Elmore, with each visit slowly increasing Richard's weight, but he still pushes through. Richard ends up eating 22 Joyful Burger meals, and if we base it off the McDonald's equivalent, we get about 1,060 calories per meal, meaning that just through this alone, he ate 23,320 calories, and that's not even including the wrappers and toys he ate too. At the final Joyful Burger location, when he goes all the way around town and completes his mission, Larry hands Richard the mythical McGuffin, which looks just about as disgusting as you'd imagine. But as Richard opens his mouth to take the first bite, his jaw just won't stretch wide enough to fit a single bite of the burger in there. Bro was quite literally full. This is already insane, but this next time Richard eats a ton of food, it's not exactly by choice. In the episode The Ghost, Carrie possesses Gumball so she can eat again, leading to multiple junk food binges that leave him overweight. Gumball attempts to resist with help from Darwin, Nicole, and even Richard, but Carrie keeps taking over until she finally realizes she has a problem. To help her with her food cravings, Gumball introduces her to Richard, and as you would expect, we see Carrie head straight to the kitchen and just start going down on everything. We don't know exactly how many calories Richard ate, but according to a USDA report from January of 2025, the average American family has about 3,914 calories of food available per person each day. So for a family of 5 like the Wattersons, that would be about 19,570 calories. And if you count the sausage he ate before tearing through the entire fridge, we can round that up to about 20,000 calories, assuming he probably also ate a bit more than we said. However, that's nothing for Richard, as he's shown to be able to be down 100 hot dogs in just 20 seconds. In the episode The Game, the Wattersons stumble upon a mysterious board game called Dodger Dare. Despite Gumball and Darwin's warning about how dangerous the game is, the family starts playing, and at first what seems like fun and games becomes a real problem over time. One of the cards challenges the player to eat 100 hot dogs in under a minute, and of course, Richard's the one who pulls it.
That's not a dare, that's Tuesday.
And Darwin picked a card that said that his left arm will copy Richard's left arm, and vice versa. So when Richard downs 100 hot dogs, Darwin's arm just goes ham, showing that he ate 100 hot dogs in just 20 seconds. He also goes for a jar of pickled eggs during all the chaos. A full jar usually holds about 12 eggs, which Richard probably inhaled without even chewing.
The only power this game has is the power you give it.
And why's my hand moving again?
The game's finished, Richard.
But these pickled eggs aren't.
But next, we got a way bigger meal, which Richard makes it seem so easy to eat. In the castle, with Nicole away, Richard is left in charge, leading to a day without rules. They go to the store and start messing around, and of course, eating from the shelves. But Richard's absolute American freedom ends up attracting the entire town, who destroy the whole house and even kick the Wattersons out. So Gumball, Darwin, and Richard try to get in by calling the police, picklocking the door, and the one that's actually most important acting like pizza delivery drivers. And that last one works, but Richard, who was hiding in the boxes, actually ate all the pizza, which in total would be a mind-blowing 40,800 calories. Next, in the episode The Father, Richard eats even more food. It all starts when Frankie shows up to the Wattersons' house, and when he goes to the backyard, they start doing a ritual called the Vermin Man dance. And through this, Richard learns that his father actually isn't a good person, and how Frankie actually walked out on Richard's life. Feeling like he messed up, he leaves, causing Richard to feel down. So the only logical answer was to take him to Joyful Burger to get over his depression.
1 large fries.
I mean, I don't have any real
Beef.
with my dad. Sure, he's made mistakes,
Steaks.
but now there's too much time to
Ketchup.
and all this has left me in a
Bit of a pickle.
while he's gone on to make up
Hash brown.
of his life, and now I
Donut.
know what to do. Every night
Ice cream.
inside, I just feel so
Waffle.
And comfort eating is not going to make me any happier.
This doesn't look good to me.
That would be 14,114 calories from what we just saw. But seeing how scared they left Larry, a former big guy, and was given a whole meal every second, I wouldn't be surprised if the number was at least 50,000. But now we're here at the last episode, and the amount of food Richard eats in this is just straight up ridiculous. In the episode The Tag, after getting into a fight, Richard and Mr. Robinson get put on house arrest, and they both try to mess each other up by having Gumball and Darwin help them. And one of those pranks is filling Gumball's bathtub with cheese. Of course, this is not a prank, more of a dream come true for Richard.
I've been wishing for this for 20 years.
Yup, that would be 1.3 million calories. That's what you'd get if you filled a standard bathtub, or about 80 gallons, with cheese. In other words, a bathtub full of cheddar isn't just ridiculous. It's a full-blown heart attack just waiting to happen. This would literally put Richard in a weight class of his own. At this point, Richard wouldn't just be big, he would be absurdly massive. Richard might not have shown himself eating the whole thing, but knowing him, there's no way he'd let that much good cheese go to waste. He most likely finished it all. Even after all of those calories, he still heads downstairs looking for more cheese.
What? No!
Ah, there it is.
Robinson stole all my cheese! He must have done it while I was in that magic bath. But how did he trick the tag?
But that's not all. After this, Gumball and Darwin decide to help him and Mr. Robinson get along by locking them in a trash can and having them work to escape. However, Richard eats the only way to get out by eating the key that was inside the cake. And after their trash can goes downhill, Gumball and Darwin try to stop it, but are already too late, and the trash cans get hit by traffic.
I'm sure they're still okay.
But now for what you've all been waiting for. After all the donuts, steaks, fries, joyful burgers, sodas, and whatever else he could get his hands on, Richard Watterson has consumed a grand total of 1,546,365 calories. That's like stacking thousands of Richards on top of each other. He's lucky to even be alive right now.